Hello, hello, hello. We are here again, preparing ourselves for the new world, preparing ourselves for the 5D, working diligently every day, doing our best to work on ourselves, remembering that change will come from within, change will come from righting our wrongs, taking responsibility for our lives, taking responsibility for our pain and suffering, and transmute that into something positive and holy, into something divine. So today I want to talk about the twin flame connection, something that I've been experiencing for the last 3 years, and how turbulent it really can be. So my last video talks a lot about the difficulties of being in this dense reality, being in this 3D, being encapsulated in this physical form. And when I first met my soul, when I first met my twin flame, it completely, it was like an earthquake to my being. It just erupts. It just every truth that I was running from, it erupted, and it opened my eyes to something. Tremendously. Opened my eyes to something far more reaching than myself, far more reaching than my identity, far more reaching than my individual sense, my egoic representation of myself. And it was it was real. It was no joke. And even to this day, I'm still in awe of it, but it's taken me a long time to really kind of like contend with what I was shown, contend with what I'm part of, because the twin flame really reflects what you're part of down here, what you're part of outside of here. Sorry, I was very much lost in the kind of physical and the ego identity and the labels I attribute to myself, and the limitations and the beliefs that I subscribe to in regards to myself, in regards to my reality, and the limitations that in my mind I had firm belief in, but that was not the case, and my limitations and boundaries and definitions and intellect was completely brushed aside in the face, in the reckoning of what was a twin flame, what is a twin flame connection. I was still, still humbles me in many, many ways, and I'm sure always will humble me while I'm in this mortal form. So the one thing I want to touch on, that's something I've been personally contending with, is the fact that we're individually, we will have very important roles down here, fundamentally. Like, we come down here to bring in the new world, to prepare ourselves and others for the harvest. And that is no joke. That is a serious task, and that is something that requires a lot of sacrifice. To sacrifice your personal interests and personal desires for a collective, and that's tough. And every part of your being will want to kind of, well, speak from my sense anyway, and sort of a lot of you can resonate, is that, when you meet your twin flame, it's just like, for me personally, it was like for the first time I had found someone and something and some connection to what in my heart was real and pure, and represented home. It represents home. And it was so like, that's why they're so appealing. That's why they're so overwhelming for us down here, because they just shine light on who we really are, and what we're really part of beyond this. And it's tremendously difficult to kind of delay gratification of that end, to delay gratification of that relationship, to further your personal mission onto this world. And that's tough, because all we want to do is kind of like, be able to inflame, and to be with the other part of us that reminds us of home, and that we feel comfortable with, that we feel, safe in. It's very reality is full of turmoil and turbulence and chaos, and when you move it to inflame, it's very reassuring. It feels like home. It feels familiar. It feels just indescribable. So that is a testament to your character, if you have the self-love to be kind of the self-love and the disciplines. But you know what? I'm gonna love you, but I'm gonna love Yeah, I'm gonna love you enough to let you do your work, and love myself enough to do my work, because that's what I've been faced with. Ever since that 3 years, it's been a real slow process of understanding that I have to sacrifice my interests and my personal endeavors for for my um for my own personal path that I'm being guided along to help the collective and help bring in the new world. And that's no joke. It's accepting that, hey, not resisting your love field to inflame, even in the face of the reality that you may well have to be with another person, be with other friends, be in another country, have a completely different, asked to complete a completely different spiritual path. That's tough, but it's a far better alternative than living in denial of your love for your twin flame, and kind of taking your anger on the reality that you've got to work for a higher cause on your twin flame by rejecting them, by insulting them, and by belittling them, or whatever way. It's tough down here, and people can act, and I'm not excluded from that, people can act rash, and maybe defensive or angry, because it's tough down here. But the reality is that, like, you only hurt yourself. That's what I've learned. For too long I was resisting, and I was running, and I have moments of kind of like, I have moments of like being wanting to kind of open my arms to my twin flame, but at the same time it was kind of like it was all in or all out of me. But now it's kind of getting to the point now where it's like, okay, well, I'm accepting the reality that I have unconditional love for her, and that is something far-reaching. That is something far-reaching, because that is what love fundamentally is. If love is based on conditions, then I was really kind of intrigued when I first kind of thought about that. First heard about that, as like, love has no conditions, but like to really kind of like act that out. A lot of times it is. A lot of times we kind of play out this role of love, but it has subtle conditions that our ego kind of puts into play, and if the person doesn't abide to them, then it kind of brings up the shadow in you, and it brings up your kind of the wrath of your pain and suffering, and you take it out on your twin flame or other people. So it can quickly turn into conditioned love without you even noticing. And it happened to me a lot. It was kind of like, yeah, like it's unconditional love. But reality is, like, unconditional love is no easy feat. It's a hard task. You have to love yourself enough to let go of the to let go of the insecurities and the pains and the sufferings that you bear inside your soul, that want to the attachment to twin flame. And that's no joke. But yeah. So yeah, the purpose of this video is to kind of digress on this fact that there are more important roles in this world than just reuniting in the physical form with a twin flame. That's not to say you're not going to reunite years down the line, maybe months, maybe days, who knows? But it's the idea that I feel like intuitively you have to be prepared to sacrifice your twin flame. You have to be prepared to sacrifice. Not to say that everyone will. Everyone will. A lot of people will reunite with their twin flame. But I feel intuitively that you have to be prepared to sacrifice, for the collective, for your higher reaching goal that we put down this earth for. If you're kind of lost in your personal interest, your self-interest, I want this, and I want to inflame, and I want a comfortable life, and I want to live my own, I don't want to go out into the world, and I want to be comfortable and keep to my own routine, well then universe will let itself known in your life in a magnitude of ways that you are not prepared for, and will shake you to your core until you recognise the fact that it's not about you and what you want. And that's something that I reckon with, and I'm sure I will still reckon with it again. But yeah, which to me shows the importance of what is going on here. It can be all too easy to be flippant about this experience, and be flippant about the times we're in, and kind of look out into the world and be like, yeah, it's all fine. Like, I have my job, I have my money, I have my friends, I have my relationship, I have my twin flame. Oh no, it's not as simple as that. Really, not as simple as that for the ones who've come down here to sacrifice, the ones who come down here to bring in the new world. It's nowhere near as simple as that. So yeah. And it is very liberating at the same time, because as I say, like, it's, yeah, to love unconditionally is truly something that is just special. To kind of see your twin flame and kind of be another person or be with their friends, be in their countries, but yet still love them. That is something that is a force to be reckoned with. I'm telling you now, it really is. And for sure, I'm not suggesting that it's all like, oh, you need to reach that and then stay like that and be the perfect kind of sage of our time. No, because the reality is we're human and we're flawed and we're limited and we have ups and downs, and you're gonna feel unconditional love, and sometimes you're gonna feel weak, you're gonna feel vulnerable, you're gonna feel upset, you're gonna feel down, you're gonna feel overwhelmed by life as it is, and you're gonna wanna reach the bosom of your twin flame partner, and you're gonna want to seek solace in them, because that's only natural, because the world down here is intense and it is turmoil. But that's what life is about. It's about how you pick yourself up from those moments, and trying to find unconditional love for yourself fundamentally. And then from that extension, unconditional love to your twin flame, to your soul partner, So yeah, it's a constant process. It's never like, you reach unconditional love now, or you seek to reach it and then that's the end goal. No. It's never the end goal. It's just, you kind of just trying to mediate between and negotiate between the lessons we're being shown and trauma that comes up, and doing our best to kind of reckon with it and to work with it and to transmute it fundamentally, to not escape from it, not escape from the insecurities that may lead you to seeking attachment or seeking solace in your twin flame, because your twin flame is never going to give you the answers you want. No matter of fact, no job, no money, no friends, no twin flame will ever do that, and that's something that is deeply, deeply depressing, seriously depressing for the intellect to understand. The intellect and ego is deeply, deeply. That's a strong truth that burns deep into the mind of the intellect. It really does, because the intellect is proper, like, controlling, and it's organised, and it's logical, and it's rational, and it works on a very superficial plane, and the twin flame can be part of that plan, part of that scheme, where it kind of organises kind of holes in the intellect, kind of analyzes the pain, and it sees holes and sees forms of which can be filled in the form of twin flame or friends or money or a job or social accolades, and it can be very, very convincing. It really can. But man, what I've been shown again, time and time again, is that you keep building yourself up, orientated towards the intellect's goals and prejudices and priorities, then you get pushed, you get burned right back down again, until you learn it's not about the twin flame, it's not about anything outside of yourself. Once you can be prepared to sacrifice everything in your life, whether that's your twin flame or your career or whatever, that's what I've learned in my life. It's kind of like it's no joke. It's still going on. It's still going on to this day. It's still going on to this day. Every single time I keep, believing the hype, believing that I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I'm in control, and I'm in power. That I have powers of influence beyond this world. I mean, yeah, there's powers, but I mean, fundamentally, it's very limited, and it's very, yeah. When your actions are predicated on power, then it seldom works. Honestly, it's just it's really tough to reconcile from that. You keep kind of like orientating yourself towards like control and power and gain my twin flame, or like gain money, and from what I've learned, from what I'm still learning, is the souls, the ascended ones who are here to bring in the new world. It's all about going through initiation of sacrifice, initially to sacrifice who you once were to become who you're destined to be, and destined to be the new breed of man and woman for the new world. The old breed of man and woman will not be allowed through the kingdoms of heaven, as it were. When the time comes, when the harvest comes, if you're not aligned and you're not sacrificed your presuppositions to what you once thought you were, and to what values you once obtained, then it's going to be a nasty fallback to reality, and and to basically restart the cycle of karma again, which will not be pretty, will not be pleasant, you know. And that's the reality that we'll have to contend with. So yeah, just gonna put that out there. So yeah, always keep your, always say, always do your best. Even if you have to sacrifice, always do your best. Keep your heart chakra open to your twin flame. I think that's crucial. You know, even if you're not your twin flame, always keep your heart chakra open. You know, always. That's imperative. That twin flame is part of you, and holds something true to your home outside this world. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. In the meantime, it's all bless, no stress, and take it easy. See ya.